I'm glad that I'm drinking this. Yeah. One of us has to be funny today.
Wow, shots been fired. Don't let her tell you that, Birchly. You are a joy to behold. Oh wait, this was supposed to go against me.
She just said.
Hello everyone and welcome to the AWKWARDCast.
Hey, that's my line. Now you have to do the rest as well.
Wait, did it happen? It happened. I didn't even. Oh boy.
We are already live now. You have to do the rest now.
Hello everyone and welcome to the AWKWARDCast, where ANY and Keyframe wonder about random dribble. And today we have someone new.
Ooh, who might that be?
Yeah. That person is that guy.
Am I supposed to talk now? Is it me?
I guess you are allowed to.
I couldn't think of a creative way to introduce you. It's Birchly!
Yay!
I'm going to start talking in just a minute.
Okay.
Hi everybody, it's Birchly, which is me.
But
I was asked to come on here, so I guess my condolences to Keyframe and AIM, because you must have run out of other guests and had to come crawling to me.
The secret is we've ran out of guests like 4 years ago, and we've just been begging people. We just wait outside their houses, aka I wait outside their houses, and I'm just like, hey, you want to be on a show? Hey,
that's pretty much what happened.
Hey, you want me to leave you alone?
This is an eerie recreation.
I mean, I just went into Birchly's DMs and was like, hey, dude. So I've been giving you money for a long time.
So we literally buy our guests by now.
No,
yeah,
Birchly likes me.
I didn't bring it up.
Birchly likes me. The money is just a good byproduct.
But now that we know how we got you here, maybe it's also time to elaborate for the people out there who you are, what you do, and why they should care.
Well, first, you did not tell me I had to prepare for the third part of that question, so I have.
I never do.
We never do.
For the first two, who I am Birchly. I known for being part of the furry community that I started being a part of in like 2016. It was one of these, post-Zootopia for
one of these teens.
Oh, that's why you have an entire folder just dedicated to Zootopia.
On the subject of who I am, I'm not a teenager. But,
I hope not.
But yeah, I started doing a bunch of Zootopia fan art, and then eventually I had kind of like a Zootopia sort of OC that became just a non-Zootopia OC, my skunk Courtney Brushmark.
Yeah.
And so people probably know me for her now. And I don't know, I've just been kind of doing stuff mostly on Twitter and then DeviantArt and Tumblr back when that was a thing. And
I remember.
Affinity and yada, yada, yada.
I remember.
Long time ago.
Yeah. Eventually I started doing like commissions, which I really wish I could do more of, but they happen every now and then. And this year I started doing my Patreon, which I really should have the link in front of me so I can say it, but it's probably like, I don't know, patreon.com/Birchly or something. That sounds...
Is it linked here somewhere? It's hopefully... No, it's not linked here. No.
Hey, look, there's you.
Yeah, I already noticed. Look at this handsome gentleman over here.
Hey.
That was worth every penny. That was such a good commission.
Oh, thank you. I like doing it. Yes, patreon.com/Birchly is the link. There's also, if you go to my Twitter profile, there is a link tree that has like my
everything in it. But yeah,
I'll just link it. Yeah, here it
is. Can I go on your? Can I show your Patreon?
No. As someone who gets those exclusive Patreons, alts, no. There are titties and ass and other bits you cannot put on Twitch right now.
Let me see. No, it's. I believe it's all hidden. No, it's only the safe for work stuff that we already just showed on DeviantArt right now. But we can show the banner. The banner is looking good.
Yeah,
maybe I should have gone
to... The Patreon is grown-ups only, guys. Sorry.
It's
still like, it's not that... I mean, it's still just kind of like,
make it here. It's not that bad, but... You know.
Well, yeah, we're not making judgments here.
If you are a child, you know, don't.
Yeah, if you're a child, you can go to my DeviantArt page.
Yeah.
But also, DeviantArt.
Don't. You know, just if you're a child, leave.
Okay,
first of all,
I believe.
My Twitter account is safe for work, except I
one
have
of them,
another Twitter account that is not.
Which I would know nothing about.
Yeah, but still, I'm just saying, like, if you're a child, just leave. Like, you shouldn't be here, first of all.
I believe I have set my Twitch to always mature streams. So hypothetically, since I'm too lazy to turn it off, it's always mature by default, so that I never have to worry about cursing.
That doesn't stop someone.
I know, but then they broke the rules. Yeah.
What happened to the days where kids just? What happened to the days where kids just played outside? Well, okay,
the internet happened to it.
Now.
The internet.
A little bit of everything, all of the time.
They played outside, and they also had stashes of porn mags hidden in, trees and stuff. It was no less filthy than today.
What happened to the adventure of finding a porn mag in a bush? It's too easy nowadays to find lewds. Everyone's promoting an OnlyFans or something in their Twitter bios, but there was it was like every day was the Goonies if you were trying to find that porn mag in the bush. Like, what happened to that?
That's true.
No ambition these days.
We make our own adventure now. Now that everything is easier, we have to overcomplicate things. That's what humans do, which is why we have this hyper specialization of fetishes, which is what I am currently profiting off of. So I'm not talking it. Like I've said many times, Twitter exists for two reasons: to make people upset and make people horny. And I have chosen the second path. It's been paying off pretty well so far.
Ironically, in this particular context, making people horny is actually the objectively better of two options.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Speaking of, okay, I can't say speaking of fetishes. No, I guess no. Both of these don't work, because I was about to say, what have you been up to recently? I guess that question's answered. But what else have you been up to recently? Have you been slaying any dragons? Rescuing damsels or mamsels?
Wow, we're starting off at a real high bar here. I
ask every guest if they've been slaying dragons.
Yeah, we both.
For the day that someone just says yes.
We both have our staple questions to make guests uncomfortable in the first 5 minutes.
I am in my early 30s, which means that even looking at a dragon would probably hurt my back. Like, it's starting to get to the point where it's just like, oh, I slept wrong. Day's ruined. So
you saw the dragon in Animaniacs, and you just felt two of your spinal things crack. Like, ooh.
That's very true. But I was still very impressed. It's a good-looking dragon. I mean, I don't know if I have to keep it restricted to this week, because my individual weeks.
No, you're the guest. You're the guest, and you've never been here. Talk about whatever.
Yeah, I've never been here. I mean, I'll just get into a little bit, because this has been like a crazy year for me, which I've hinted at on Twitter. Basically, I lived in Atlanta for the past 10 years, and I was at a studio in Atlanta for that long, and I quit at the beginning of this year. And I was like, well, I'm just going to go back home and see what happens. And even before I got back to my hometown, then I got a job in Burbank. And I was like, or I guess I'll move to Burbank, which I have now done. So it's been really crazy. And in the midst of all that, that's when I started my Patreon. And I started working with a new artist manager, Mariah from anthrobrand.com. And
Mariah is great.
Mariah is wonderful, and that's like she's the only reason I have a Patreon at the moment, and still helps me out with that, which is awesome. And
bless Mariah, patience of a saint. We know from the Discord.
Yes, I mean, just the fact that she works with me at all should be a huge indicator of that. And so it's just been like all over the place, and only in the past like month or so have things kind of started to actually settle here, and I've kind of gotten used to my job out here. But it's actually been really great. I sort of, there was stuff at my old job that I just gotten like used to. I was trying out a lot of different sort of tasks there, and I was learning a lot, but there was still like, it was always the same place. So it was kind of like a narrow education in that way of like the kind of place that I am working at doesn't really change. And that can be its own kind of frustrating stagnation. And then just going to a new place really has like opened things up in my brain so much. I feel like I can like relax a little more. And I'm working on like, I'm not working on like season 1 of something, which is a big change for me. Like I'm not working on something from the ground up, like things have been figured out. So it's just kind of like a big sigh of relief for me. And that's great because it means I'm happy at work. And then it frees up my mind a little bit to, you know, focus on my Patreon and that kind of stuff. So just in the last week, really, or actually just as of today, I am restarting my Patreon. I had put it on pause for like the last 2 months. Before it was kind of like a fan art based thing. And since I started my new job, I was like, I don't feel that I need to do the fan art thing to kind of moonlight that way, you know? And I was like, maybe I should just make this about my OC. And I brought that up to my server, and they all started like drooling. And it's just, you know,
it was true. Somehow my computer started bleeding drool, and I was like,
yes.
the fuck.
Yeah, my room just started filling up with saliva.
It's like okay, I guess this is the right move. It's like in SpongeBob with the walls ooze with green slime, except it's everyone's drool.
Yeah, it was a real Stephen King situation. It was a nightmare, but it was affirming in its own way. So it's like, whatever, this is just basically a Courtney Patreon now. So that's going to be a whole new adventure, and especially one thing I'm excited about is that people can like ask Courtney questions now on one of the lower tiers. They have the ability to do that, which means I get to have people help me write, which is really what I need to get anything going here.
Really invoking those
I'm going to ask
tumblers.
Every time, do you like feet?
I mean, everybody likes feet.
It depends. I guess the important question is the extent to which the feet are liked.
Sure.
Are you the one who is that furry artist that gets commissioned to draw one specific thing all the time? So you have like this really cartoony character, but really realistic ass feet. Like, that's
no, I know those people.
Yes.
And they're probably all lovely, but that doesn't mean we don't know.
We had one on last week with Lauren and her Garfield feet.
Okay, don't slander. It's not what it sounds like.
So, well, then what is it?
Okay, the thing
Describe what it is.
She did an animation for DA Games that was which is a YouTube channel I work for, that involved drawing Garfield, and apparently a lot of comments were people saying that she didn't draw Garfield's feet big enough. So I just went in during the podcast while she was talking, took a screen cap of it, and transformed the feet to be really big, and she's not happy with me. Then again, Lauren's been my friend for like 14 years. I'm allowed to make her mad.
I mean, that seems like a delightful thing to do to your friend. I don't know what she's mad about.
Sadly,
I know, right?
Yeah, sadly, I don't have the pick available anymore, and I cannot switch to last week's thing without having you guys disappear from screen.
But yeah,
sorry, you'll just have to Google Garfield feet, everybody.
Yeah.
No, don't. Wait,
what happens if I search it?
Oh no, don't. It will go horribly
Everybody
wrong.
turn safe search off. Google Garfield feet.
No, the thing is, the fourth image is this. It's not lewd, but it's cursed. Why?
Ooh, this is cursed. Jesus, this is cursed. This is so cursed that I need to share it with the audience, obviously.
It's not just the hair. The toenails are brown. They're a very upsetting color.
It could be nail polish. I don't know. I love that when I looked at the source for the image, it's a Reddit post, because of course it is. And it says, "Thanks, I hate Garfield with human feet." So even the poster hated it, but he wanted to share it.
Yeah, there's a whole subreddit. This is called "Thanks, I Hate It." I assume that's where this was.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Oh my God, there's so much feet.
Keyframe,
I'm clicking off.
You now officially, because the chat was completely dead, sharing this got some life into the chat. So chat, whenever you get too quiet, Keyframe has permission
I will share Garfield feet
or anything new that you came across. You now have the official mission to always send me something if the chat gets too quiet.
So I don't know. Was this an adequate description of what I've been up to recently? Like I've been trying to find a good avocado toast, and that's been going nowhere.
That's more lively than what our lives have been. So
okay,
we're not working.
Or has it? You don't know what well, you partially actually do know what I did this week, but still.
First of all, I do know what you did this week. Second of all,
this is like the title for a cheap B-movie horror film.
Second of all, did you start working at a TV show?
Damn it.
Yeah, there you go. So the bar is set pretty high to moving to Burbank to work on TV show, and then anything we've done. But yeah, so Max, why don't you go on about?
I left the house on Friday.
He's got me there.
Wow! But while
I did not leave his house on Friday, so
see. He might get the job at a TV show, but I left the house. And
we may have gotten a job at the TV show, but I'm the TV.
But between us old people, Birchly. Now here comes the real mind blower. I was out until 3 a.m.
Oh, that's disgusting. Such a thing.
Social interaction with someone that he hasn't hung out with.
That's just holding those
time.
People hostage.
I haven't been out until 3 a.m.
If you're over at the other person's house, they're the hostage people. They're not the hostages.
But how do you?
That's probably worse. They're probably begging him with his eyes, like, "Just will you please leave?"
How do you
pick up on these cues?
No, I know the person that he visited. That's not the case.
Okay.
That person will stay in place for a long time if they want to.
This is why I only make friends with people who go to bed at 10 a.m. At 10 p.m. Jesus Christ. All right.
Party animal.
But anyways, while you're talking about your week, I need to step away for a few minutes. So I'll be back.
No problem. Let me also... Bloop. No, this was
the wrong... Leaving too?
I deactivated the wrong camera. So, like this. This is nicer look than just blackness. But then again, I have to remember to return it back on when she returns. Anyway, what did I do on Friday evening? It was nothing too crazy. I still have not been partying in years. An old friend of mine who longtime followers of mine might remember from back in the quadrupedal days. Andy, Berlin Brownie Andy, has after the lockdown and everything, we had a few board game nights via Skype, but now we actually went over there and visited him and played board games. And it's still on the other end of Berlin, so it was actually like a trip from over an hour. And so we also it was Friday, so I had to work, after work, eating a snack, then getting over there. So we needed to make it worth its while, so we stayed until like 1 or something. Fun fact, we actually only played 2 games. I mean, 2 rounds of the first game and then the second game. But yeah, it was just, we also had, everybody, I hope everybody's sitting. We had like social interactions as in real life. We were just sitting around a table, snacking, small talking, being like, yo, do you know that? And then turning to the computer behind us and watching something together. It was very strange. It felt like we were back in some kind of old forgotten time area.
I know a lot of people said like when we got back to that sort of thing, that they weren't going to know how to handle it. They have to relearn how to be in those social situations. Is that how you felt? Or did you just kind of like step right back into it?
I guess it personally helped that it was a friend of mine, so I could fall back into this old rhythm. That was very helpful indeed.
Yes.
But what was very funny, so Denim Ninja, who I live with, already was familiar with him from the aforementioned Skype sessions and whatnot. And but what I haven't realized, they never met real life. Because for me it was like, yeah, some of my international friends have met Andy and the other way around. And so I for me it was like people know each other. And then we arrived there and he was like, wow, Denim, great to finally meet you in real life. And I'm like, whoa, you guys never met? And they look at me like, no, there was a pandemic for the last 1.5 years.
I have no recollection of this.
Yeah. But
it's awesome, man.
Yeah, and it was really. I got to play one of my favorite games from back in the day, and it was nice to get it. And I believe both of them also had a good time with it. It's a little bit more on the strategic end, where some players who just don't want to wreck their brain too hard while having a relaxed board game night are not the biggest fans of. But more on that later. I also did something. Yeah, I also did something besides socializing. I also did something yesterday. For people who follow, it was another stream of the Honey Pops with the Wolfhead. So that was actually fun, and we for once made progress. I believe we didn't have a single failed date. Spoilers, I guess. But no, the secret of my success from yesterday, in between this live stream and the previous one, I had done a few grinding sessions where I just did my damnedest to not advance the story with any characters, but I did a bunch of dates with already established couples, and just to grind out the currency and buy items and whatnot. And with this setup, stream yesterday was actually like pretty dope. We didn't have to and because if you get the stats high enough, dates itself also go easier. So that's all neato. So yeah, and the VODs then will trickle in over the next few weeks on my Let's Play channel, as usual. Yeah, and maybe even something of today, just showing that we are truly determined to get them ferrets. We actually looking at a lot of ferret postings at the moment, and we actually came across 2 this week. One was very, very promising in Kiel, where the entire story behind it was actually a nice and heartfelt story. Like the owner was like, yeah, I used to have more ferrets, but then the first ones died, and now I have the 2 left, and I never bonded with them. Because ferrets are like, I'm not sure how much knowledge is out there about ferrets, but ferrets are actually very, they bond with the humans like in a pack thing. So they are not like cats who are like, hey, you, food giver.
They're not sluts, you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. No, they actually do bond and even moan if you go on vacation for too long and stuff like that. But yeah, this owner was like, yeah, I never clicked with this remaining 2, and I want to give. This is not fair. This is sad. So I want to give them away to a new household where they can bond with. And this was like all written out in a story, which was very like, damn. Sadly, somebody else beat us to it. Asked first. They had a visit yesterday, and it was like, nah. We were runner-ups, but sadly we didn't get Loki and Skadi. What was the second name? She's not hearing me. Now she will react in a minute or so when the delay catches up.
I'm just gonna say Sylvie. It's probably Sylvie.
Skadi. Okay, Skadi. No, sadly not Sylvie. She probably had them longer than Loki was on TV. But yeah, Loki and Skadi, which is probably another, as far as I know, another name about. Oh yeah, there it is. Another Norse mythology name. But today we also went to a hobbyist breeder not too far from here, but that didn't convince us really, and the ones that they had to offer were too young, and since we are both amateurs, we were like, no, we want to have more like older ones who already trained, so we can screw up less about them. But we are staying on it. It will probably my old plans of coming actually installing a ferret cam for the show will probably not work out because our plan goes into the direction of having them free roaming. So I could put up a cam, but they will probably never stay in front of it.
Would this be your first ferret?
Yeah, that would be our first ferret, and we want to definitely get 2 because it's always recommended.
You want them to be friends, but you can always you want them to be friends.
Yeah.
But you could just put 2 little hammocks, and whenever they decide to, they can lie down.
Not gonna lie. I was actually considering to clear out this part of the cupboard next to me, put a hammock here and some kind of ramp that leads from my desk to the bookshelf, because when we had guest ferrets over here, they already proved they can get on my desk from the sofa. So then I can get blessed by having ferrets in the middle of the show, bump, run over here, run up the ramp.
The only thing that makes me fear that is them walking on your keyboard and hitting the shortcut button that ends the stream.
Oh, this would be command 1. If they are close enough, they could hit both of them.
They have 4 paws, Max.
I dare to say.
And a tail.
I mean,
and a tail.
Last time when they visited, I just let it happen and I let it run across my keyboard. I believe if I have my own one and they actually come on my desk, I would probably lift the keyboard, especially when I'm live.
Look, I'm just saying they are a 4-pod 2 of chaos. If it can happen, it will.
And I hope it will. But yeah, this was my week. So handing over to Keyframe.
I return.
You didn't catch the ball.
Hello.
What? No, I catch the ball.
No, I threw you a ball and you didn't catch it. Instead, you lifted your wine glass, so you probably bounced it off your...
it did kind of swish and go thunk, 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 thunk in the background.
Well, okay. Oh, wait. Throw the ball. Throw the ball again. Whoa! Oh, damn it!
You know, I miss British Ninja. British Ninja who even could catch the cursor, and when there was a cursor on his face like that, British Ninja could catch the cursor and swat it away like a fly. So yeah, the standard is very high here.
Keyframe, just before you get started, I just want to highlight the buff bun print right behind you.
There's a story behind this actually. So
is this an artist?
Does it say who it is?
No, it doesn't. But the thing is, I went to MomoCon in Atlanta. I think this may have been 2018 or 2019. And my friend Sketchy was there. We were hanging out and stuff. And we saw this vendor hall. And they had only one buff bun print left, but we both wanted it. So I let him have the buff bun, but then they were like, you know what? Here, you can have the one that we keep in the book. So we both got buff buns. It is one of 3 Zootopia prints I have, because I have... Hold on. Go back in. I'm never getting the security deposit on this apartment with all the thumbtack holes that I've made. But nope. I have... Okay. You can't see it. I have a Zootopia print next to this Kim Possible painting that I got from MagFest, and then there's one all the way in the back. I'm not even going to try to show that one. And that is one Max got me, which is a Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir, but Judy and Nick. Oh, wait, I have 4. what am I talking about? I also have this Rosie the Riveter one.
There we go.
I think I also got this at MomoCon.
Great.
I keep these when I keep these when I work out because they are motivators.
Great. Now that you pointed, now that a guest actually pointed out the furry wall behind you, I'm starting to feel bad about my wall. I want to get my furry wall back. Well, you know what? I start decorating my wall during the show. That's okay, right, Keyframe?
No. Look, now that you have your thing, I need to be the one that has all the nerdy posters, which I do. I have many of my thirst traps. My biggest thirst trap one actually is
I'm bringing the fucking green screen back.
Is this, which is
oh yeah,
Bowsette.
It's Bowsette, designed by Rubber Ninja Ross from Game Grumps, and it's signed by him because Lauren went to DesignCon one year. I'm gonna hang this up there. Went to DesignCon one year, and Ross was there, and she bought me that and his sketchbook, like a little thing with all of his sketches, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know if you know my Cosmic Keyframe, which is my Twitch name, and I've been subscribed to him for like 3 years, and I've gift subbed maybe like 250 subs to his channel over the past few years." And he's like, "Oh, Key, I know her. Yeah." And I mean, it all culminated with the fact that in the Social Monsters video he made, the Adam Sandler poster is actually something I made, put it on Twitter when he was streaming, and it was like, "I'm putting this in the fucking video." So
that's great, and I'm really glad. I'm really glad I stopped the show for this because you have a heart out. I do want to mention I got a Bowsette at MomoCon as well that was done by Savannah Alexandra. If you don't know Savannah's work, you really got to check it out. You just have to Google the name, Savannah Alexandra. She's fucking great.
Bowsette is a trend that should never end. But if I were to suggest, can people draw more Bowsette with red hair because it looks really nice, please?
Yes,
Thank you. Cool.
Mine is also red hair.
She's often blonde, isn't she?
I always, when I sketch Bowsette in my own time, I tend to draw her with red hair and like tanner skin because this is actually like Bowser colors. And I also draw her with muscles. Don't be scared to draw muscle chicks, you cowards! Cowards, all of you. Anyway, so my week was not yelling at this. My week was the Keyframe brand of dull. And it was even more dull because I wasn't able to go to the gym all week because everyone was too busy to take me. And I was also just busy with work in general. I had home workouts though, so I've been maintaining. But I guess the one big thing is I started doing workout streams on Twitch. I cannot watch myself. Yeah. I hate it. Turn it off, please.
Okay.
I can't watch.
I'm trying to turn it off. Why is it not stopping? Twitch doesn't pause. What is this?
It's insecurity. I just don't like looking at myself. It's like Adam Driver. I wouldn't be able to watch myself in a movie. But no, I started doing that, and people have been having a lot of fun. Like people ask me questions. We work out together. People complain. I say I complain as well. Most of the stream is me explaining how to do different exercises, and then while I'm doing them, I am cursing immensely because it's realistic. No one, look, if you don't feel pain sometimes when you're, not pain, but
it's weakness leaving the body. We all know this.
Yeah. Yes. And you know what? I'm not one of those little fitness influencers that smiles during the entire workout. I'm going to say, oh, this sucks because it's real. So fuck. So if you like realness and a Northeastern woman yelling, watch my fitness streams.
Yeah.
But it's a positive vibe overall.
On your
screens filling the gym.
Yeah, I do these. I'm actually planning to do these fairly daily on Twitch. The only one that I don't have planned is Wednesday. Actually, no, I am doing one Wednesday because I didn't do one yesterday. But it also helps me keep a routine because I want to try to work out twice a day, one at the gym, one at home. And so like everything in my life, if I'm doing an entertainment-based thing, I'm more likely to do it.
Actually, a really good idea.
Yeah, it is. And it's fun. It's just I will never be able to put them up on anything because I can't look at myself. I can't. I'm not. I project confidence, but inside I look at myself and see nothing but blob. But like no, besides that, my week's been nothing but consuming media. Like honestly, I could pull a Max and do like a media segment that is nothing but like 30 medias, which I will pseudo do by briefly talking about ones that aren't my media.
I might do that as well.
Well, look, a lot of shit came out this week. I have not watched Centaur World yet, but that's for Birchly to talk about. I was morbidly curious and watched the entirety of The Prince on HBO Max, which is that Family Guy looking clone of
just what
the royal family.
Earth possessed you? I mean, it seems. Let me ask you this: is there anything in the show you don't get from the trailer? Because the trailer seemed like it was of a piece.
What the fuck is that?
Here's the thing. I first wanted to watch it because they were supposed to release the show in May. And then Prince Philip died. So I wanted to see if they took Philip out of the show, like, you know, because they're puppets. You could just delete the asset. They didn't. And oh my God, the main joke with Prince Philip is that he's a zombie that can't do anything, basically, which feels so... One episode literally starts with two butlers dragging him and one saying, you didn't plug him in? So they have to revive him like Frankenstein. And I'm just like, this is so fucking tasteless. I'm not even a royalist, but Jesus Christ.
Oh, this is so ugly.
It is very ugly.
When you said family style-esque, I wasn't expecting it to have this. There are those shows where every character looks like a caricature.
I'm going to start calling it family style. Yeah, here's the thing. The caricatures are really good, but I don't want to impugn anybody's work. I'm only saying this because the caricatures look so different from every other design. It kind of seems like they were ripped off. Kind of seems like they went to like a political illustration and they were like, yeah, this is pretty good, and they just used.
All right, Magical Dude is British. We have a British in the
chat. Just looks like Family Guy.
I'm so concerned with the disparity between like. Also, they changed Kate's design, the one next to William during the show, so she's less caricature-esque. So the girls look normal, like Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton or whatever look normal. But then you put them next to Prince Harry and Prince William. It's like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, what's up with Prince William's head? It's a great caricature. I could tell that it's Prince William, but goddamn it, two of his heads could make one of his wife. It's also very, very concerning when you have them together having a romantic scene. Because his lips look like they can eat her face. Yeah. But yeah.
Is that not what women want?
I was morbidly curious because, let's face it, there are shows that don't have great art direction that could have surprising writing. BoJack is not a good-looking show. I was wondering if this was going to be a thing where it, like, deconstructs.
BoJack is at least an interesting-looking show, unlike this. Like, Family Guy especially is just... It's not even how bad it looks. It's so boring. It's such a boring
I was also show. A little bit interested because the person who made it and voices Prince George, which is the little Stewie Griffin-ass looking kid, was the producer of Family Guy during like the late 90s. So when Family Guy was actually good, it really just, no offense, but with how he plays Prince George, which by the way, it feels really weird. It feels really wrong, honestly, to watch a show that's making an 8-year-old kid like an asshole. Because these are real people.
Real person,
Prince George is a real kid. Apparently, the creator has an Instagram that he does nothing but make satirical posts about Prince George acting like he's Joffrey from King of Thrones. I'm just like, dude, you're 54. The kid is 8. I don't think he's developed a personality yet. Besides, I'm young and cute and royal, and like fifth in line for the throne.
This would be like a 2016 cartoon from the point of view of Baron Trump, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But
was there? Why do I feel like we had that?
No, there is a Donald Trump cartoon that turned into a Joe Biden cartoon this year because, well. But like, no, okay, brief thing about the show. It's just about the characters living. And at the end, it slowly turns into The Crown. I don't know how else to describe it. everyone suddenly wants to become the main royal of England. There's this weird subplot that there are underground mole people that make food for the queen, and they burn all of them except for one, and the one that survives becomes like English, like, and decides, I'm going to poison the royal family. There are only two good things about this show. Two things I will say that are objectively good. There is an episode that's just about the butler, who's played by Alan Cumming. That was a good episode. That was really sweet. And then there's a musical number at the third to last episode that's actually a really good. I go back to listen to the musical number. But you know what? You worked on Family Guy for over a decade. The one thing you should know how to do is musical numbers. I expect that of you. Because Family Guy, no matter what, has good music. But, like, it just felt dull. I can't even say I hate it because it was just overwhelmingly dull.
Yeah, I get that.
But I still felt a weird, like, I feel dirty watching this anytime Prince Philip was on screen, because I'm like, the man is dead, and all these jokes are about him being near death. And the worst part is that there's a disclaimer at the beginning of the show to say that it's satire, and there's a sentence in it that's like, also recent events will not be referenced because, well, this is a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
You mean
it's
the
just
fucking death? Like, but yeah.
So this was your media.
No.
Oh.
But then I washed my mouth out with Jellystone, which was that was fine. That's a good show. It is so fucking funny.
It's a great show.
It is basically the creator of Chowder, which was a Cartoon Network show. Which is after some people's time, I know. But this guy also worked on this guy also worked on early seasons of SpongeBob, so like the good era SpongeBob and stuff. And the show is just a bunch of old Hanna-Barbera characters that people haven't seen in like 30 years just living in a city. And it's so fucking funny. Because none of the characters are really their actual characters. I think CH said that it's a love letter, but not a nostalgia show. So, there's different interpretation, which is how you should do these things.
Yeah, some of the most primary characters are like Yogi and is it Cindy and Boo Boo, and they're all doctors, and they're just doctors now. They're just
Yogi's performing brain surgery in many episodes. I mean, one of the other things is that Paul F. Tompkins, Mr. Peanut Butter, plays Magilla, who's now an intellectual, which is just great.
Yes, he's also in the Banana Splits gang. Paul F. Tompkins is one of my favorite people.
Paul F. Tompkins plays a lot of characters. I love him.
I would pretend that I know who this voice actor as well as who this character, the Hanna-Barbera character you just referenced.
You know Mr. Peanut Butter,
yeah,
right?
Okay.
That's Paul F. Tompkins.
You can't have a podcast without knowing who Paul F. Tompkins is.
Now I do. Now
he's going to wander on and be a guest.
Thank goodness we can continue now. Oh, but okay, Keyframe. When the guy when on Awkward?
I'll talk. I could probably make it happen. But he's more approachable than Obama, Max.
Excuses.
You guys try Obama?
Max has been trying to getting me to get Obama on this show for years. So
she doesn't even try.
Don't gaslight me about Obama.
Wait, Max. Have you tried? Have you tried?
I don't know where to eat. Obama doesn't have a Gmail.
So she doesn't want the Secret Service on her ass.
He has a Twitter. You could Twitter PM him.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't think the former president of the United States has his DMs open, Max. And I also don't think he has Obama at gmail.com. Like, come on. BarryObama@gmail.com. But point being, Jellystone is a good show. Even if it actually is probably the perfect show if you've never watched a Hanna-Barbera anything, because the characters are so different.
Okay, maybe he doesn't have his PMs open.
It's fun.
The thing that surprised me most about Jellystone is there's like a legitimate disaster every single episode. Like there's some horrific event that like closes out the episode and it's like, this town can never come back from this, and then the next episode everything's fine. It's great. I love it.
my favorite episode of the whole show is there's like two. One is like Top Cat sells expired fish sticks to everyone, and they all become like weird fish zombies, which is amazing. I love anything with Top Cat in it, though.
Yes, that's Thomas Lennon. He's so fucking good.
Yes. Oh, it's so good. And then the other one is they like doggy daddy gives Augie and the little duck like VR headsets to go play a video game, and Gazoo from the Flintstones is guiding them, and also Gazoo's played by Flula for some reason. And then like but it turns out while everything is fun and smiles in the game, they're fucking destroying the town in real life, and that
sounds about right.
It's so good. Watch this show. It's so much fun. But my actual media,
Segway! Boo, boo, boo. Also, we need to do lightning round on the medias today. It's already 3/4 hour in, and we need to end on time.
Look, we've been having fun, and time moves slower.
I know, but just giving a heads up so we can still finish on time.
This one I can actually talk fast about because I haven't played a lot of it yet. So I tried to stream a GameCube game for Monday, and I lost the GameCube controller, so I had to improvise, and we found this, which is Furry Shakespeare, to date or not to date Catgirls. And I messaged Max about this game, and all he said was, there are so many questions to be had here. Okay, so this is a game where all the characters are named after Shakespeare characters. So you have Othello and Macbeth and all this, and they're at a high school where there are Catgirls and furries and dragons and Cthulhu. And what you're trying to do...
Great, Denim is already buying it. You should not have said Cthulhu.
Yeah, well, Cthulhu's like... if she wants to buy it, that there's a game that's specifically with Cthulhu called like Mythos something that's made by the same developers. Cthulhu's only a side character in this game. But no, see, you just play a new student who's at this school that apparently wars and shit have been going on, but still the most important thing is going to high school homecoming. And you just try to increase your knowledge and your stat. It's basically Monster Prom to try to win the heart of one of these characters. It's asinine. I love it. Like, it's such a weird game because the dialogue is just insane. One of the teachers just tries to kill you every chance that he gets.
Sounds like school.
He has a class where then the floor opens up and there's like sharks in the water and you have to figure out what to do. You can you could have one answer that boosts your charisma, one answer that boosts your knowledge, that kind of stuff.
I don't know how this helps. There's sharks.
I think the answer I picked is that you inspire the class to rebel against the teacher and you throw the teacher to the shark-infested waters, which increased my charisma. But yeah, this game is stupid. Everyone should get it. It's so dumb.
Let me ask you, do they attempt like a Shakespearean verse with the dialogue style?
Sometimes.
It's
not all the time.
It's under $10. Everybody should get it.
Yes, but this is like the most expensive game this developer has, which is so surprising because there's so many expansions. Like this fucking developer, I need to meet them. I want them to put my mink in the game. Please. I will promote your games to high heaven. Can you please put my fursona in this game? Because they have ones that are just all dinosaurs. They have one that are just mythical creatures. So like, which is the Mythos ones. They have one where it's just paper sketches. Yeah, like they have so many different games. There's a Halloween version of the Shakespeare high school thing. I am enamored with this developer because they know exactly what they want to do and they know what they want to put out in the world, and they are, and that's more than most people can say. So you know what? I stan you, game developer with a MS Paint dinosaur as your logo. There's the Mythos one.
They have an entire Cthulhu series even.
Exactly. He's the engineering teacher in the Shakespeare game. And how I do his voice is that I just go like this, and I just talk like this, which feels great on the face after a while. Let me tell you. But yes, I fully recommend this game if you like something that is just, it's exactly what it says it is. If you don't like what it says, you're not gonna like it. That's the people who won't like it. So yeah, that's my media. Furry Shakespeare.
But since you mentioned Tempra, your perfectly smooth segue from your week into your media completely went over the art of the week by some. Can you read the name of the artist? I can't tell from here.
Yeah, it's Broccoli.
By Richley.
Yeah, by Birchly. So, man, I didn't want. I guess they are very proud that they are very wealthy and bisexual. No, it's Birch.
No, the art is by Rich Lee.
Oh,
okay. See, this was a good choice.
I did have a Starbucks person, a Starbucks
barista
workman, write Borchi on my coffee cup once, and I was very proud of it.
Borchi, I like that.
But by now, this is part of the brand.
But yeah, I commissioned Birchly for this. I think this was a Christmas gift.
It could be. It has been a while ago, and I'm pretty sure
a couple years ago.
It actually already was art of the week, but I thought for today's episode we can cheat and bring it back.
I actually to show on my phone screen. It's my phone screen. Yeah. Now and whenever I open my phone, the first thing I see is not Google Deep Dive with Jenna Marbles. That's totally not what I was looking while I was taking my stomach medication. When I open my screen, the first thing I see is this art that Lauren made. Ooh. And then when I open it, I also see this. So it's all my favorite people, and then Furry, and my favorite people. So, but yeah, we had to bring it back for this. It's not very often we get the artist who's drawn stuff for us on the show.
Yeah, most of us are a fucking mess.
Yeah. I think you're like the second actual artist we've had on the show that's just come on that does exclusively art, or furry art specifically.
I mean, Ambrose, Lauren.
Ambrose? Okay.
Lauren, we usually have art of Lauren to show off when she's on.
That is true, but I'm saying that Lauren also does other things besides exclusively art. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, my media is done. Which one of you two wants to go next?
I think since we already talked about by Richley, why don't you tell us something about your media by Richley?
Which I really need to watch because I've heard great things.
Yeah.
Okay, so Centaur World. I don't know how many people had this reaction, but I saw the trailer for this thing, and I was like, "This is weird," and I have no idea how to respond to it. My mind was going in like 3 different directions at once. Is this scary? Is it funny? Is it cringy? Like I did not know, but I was like, I have to check this out. There's something fascinating about what they're doing, and it only came out on Netflix like this Friday, right? So I hopped on. It was very hard I had to actually go to the search function to find it. They were not like advertising it on my page for whatever reason.
Yeah, thanks Netflix, you're great.
But yeah, it's this show that is kind of this combination of like The Wizard of Oz and Adventure Time and My Little Pony and some other unnamed ingredients, and it was one of those things. Like I was talking earlier this week with my server about like there is nothing truly original. Originality is what we call an interesting blend of things that already exist, and nothing really amps that up more than this show, which is nothing but elements from other stories. Like you can see right now, this like Uzi guy, you've seen him a million times before, you know.
Yeah, it's like the Lich and all that.
Yeah, but it's the main weapon of this show is tonal incongruity, which is it is unleashing that weapon all the time. And I was not ready for it when I saw the trailer. When I saw the first few episodes, it was like, what is this?
Just look at how they animate the main horse compared to those abominations.
I mean, it gives me real. I don't know if you ever saw it, Birchly, but 12 Forever, the poor unfortunate show that.
No, I missed that one. I didn't get to it before it was heavily canceled. And
it was ultra canceled.
Yes.
But like, but the show itself, like the character designs of the Centaur worldlians very much make me think of that, especially with like a real life character. The first time I heard about the show was that they had the cast singing the "Welcome to Centaur World" song, and so I was like, oh, it's a musical. I'm automatically gonna like this.
It's quite possible. I'm very interested to hear like what other people's initial reactions are. I think on the whole, everybody likes this show, but I didn't start enjoying it on like the level of what they were doing until like halfway through. Because before that, I was still genuinely confused. Like, are the scary parts supposed to be funny? Are the funny parts supposed to be scary? It's like on a nice edge. I don't understand, and it feels like I like missed a step in cartooning. My suspicion is I didn't catch like Adventure Time at all, and I feel like that's the missing step here. Because Centaur World starts off, and it's like I just feel like I jumped into a new era of cartooning, and I don't get it. I don't get what's happening, I think that's the missing key.
So. I mean, that's probably it. Yeah. No, sorry. You go ahead.
No, that's all right. There's very intentionally weird things they're doing where it's like, why are they making these decisions? I still don't know. But like the main herd, the team that you see flanking the horse there, they're just fucking weird. And like there's a himbo giraffe there who has both the giraffe like body and then a human body and then a giraffe neck and a human head.
Character. I feel like that one's going to become my favorite character.
But still no nose. None of them has noses.
My favorite character, there's kind of like a gazelle or a deer one. It actually says in Wikipedia that she's a Gerenuk like centaur.
The one on the far right,
which is kind of what I thought. Yeah, that's the one with the long neck and the ears. And Glendale is actually my favorite. But she's someone who, like, starting off, it's like it does feel a little cringy because she's voiced by the creator of the show. And again, I came around to liking this, so don't hunt me down, creator of the show. I think the show is great. But she's doing kind of it's like, are we sure we want to do this? This is the decision we're going with. But it's great. It turns out to be great. It just took me like 4 episodes to get used to it, and they build up her character to where it's like, oh, the comedy is like really clicking now. But when it starts, kind of the point of it is like the gray like warlike horse here is dumped in from another dimension, and all she wants to do is get back to her rider so she can help her like save the world in this war-torn apocalypse. And instead, she's stuck in this weird, like, candy-colored centaur world. Everything's a centaur, including, like, the grass and the leaves, and it's fucking insane. It's a completely weird, goofy world, but there's also, like, always something sinister on the margins. And it's not like... I've heard this about Adventure Time, where it, like, starts off really goofy, and eventually you realize, like, oh, there's something much darker here. In this, it starts off goofy, but you can always tell, like... something I'm very uncomfortable here. Yeah, like the skies are always kind of dusky, and like there's unsettling voices, and it feels like being if you were in a Mario world for real, where like everything is kind of alive and staring at you all the time, and you're like, I'm very uncomfortable.
Nice.
But I mean,
then you get used to it.
But it's kind of like the thing that I guess I don't know if it benefits or hinders, I guess it depends on your point of view, is the fact that Adventure Time started this trend, but Adventure Time also because it was a network television show, had super long seasons, so it was such a gradual gradient into the darkness. Like sometimes you would get hints of it, but I don't think like the first hint that there was like that this show was the result of an apocalypse or something was probably like when they revealed icing.
Yeah. The first scene is the apocalypse. Like the first scene is ravaged, and then you go into another dimension, and you're like, wait, what? And then it's the incongruity throughout that it's playing with.
They speed up the process now that it's like, you know, a cartoon that because of streaming seasons, there's only like what 13 episodes.
It's like 8. It's like 10 episodes. 10 episodes. And there's sure to be, if they renew it, they definitely set it up for another season. But it doesn't feel like a cliffhanger. It feels like a nice resolution to the season. I will say, like, you know, by the time I started clicking with it, and you get to those final episodes, they have some dramatic moments that were like, oh, I didn't even realize that I actually cared about this, but now I suddenly do. And the music is great. And the bad guy, sorry, there's a bad guy, but he's great. Like it's weird, and that's what I really appreciate about it. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because I saw a bunch of other stuff this week, just like you Keyframe, and because I didn't know what I would want to talk about. I wanted to talk about this because it's weird, and I didn't know what it was doing, and it worked. So I would say check it out. I don't know if it's going to work on you, but so far everybody seems to like it, so it's worth a shot.
I mean, that I think that's something that, like, the tonal the fact that there's two things there, because I know there's some people that they just don't like absurdity, so they need something to balance it out. Because, like, I know people that just revel in absurdity, so they're the people that, like, you know, they really like the Unikitty cartoon, they like Uncle Grandpa, like, they like the weirdness. They are stuck in that absurdist era of cartoons, which it's a perfectly fine era. I like it. But
I'm judging.
People that I'm so sorry. You grew up in the era that these absurdist cartoons were made.
How very European.
How very European. How very you didn't get some network televisions until after your time. But, like, you know, and then there's some people who are not, so I think, like, putting them together actually makes people able to palate both. Yes. But, you know, sometimes there are people that are like, I really like the story part, but I hate this part. Or I really like the silly part, but God, the story. So
yeah, I think this juggles it enough that it's more digestible. And I guess the last thing I will say about it is the animation is great. And again, it's very weird because they have different animation styles, and they use that as part of the story. But I mean, as we all know, Netflix animation budgets are great, and it's really put to good use here.
Because the studio that does it also does, like, Kid Cosmic and Hilda, and they did Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. They have been getting around.
Yeah, so it's not only good, it's not only expensive, but it's creative in the way that it's used, and it draws attention to itself, but that's part of the fun of the show. So check it out. I don't know how to end this part.
I mean, it's fair.
Throw the ball.
It's on Netflix. Who still hasn't Netflix
Why
after
didn't you just say that you're real? Why don't you just?
Because I'm trying to get the chat involved. Pardon me.
Oh, do I need to find another Garfield feet pick now?
Apparently.
Okay,
well, I mean, you can also find other stuff. But yeah, I guess it's time for my media.
I'll go through my folder of cursed food.
But it's also already really late, so I really should get my media going. So said, okay, I have to rush through it now, lightning round. Even so, I have props today, which is whenever do I have props? But yeah, my media today, actually, as I hinted on earlier, doing what I did on Friday, happens to be something completely new on this show. I believe. Have we ever done this before? I don't know. We are doing this for far too long. What is it? Are we at 190 episodes yet? We are very close. Anyways, it's a board game.
I think we talked about a board game once before.
Did we? Okay, but yeah,
that is a very German name.
Yeah, but I also put up. It actually got translated into English, where it's called Power Grid. The German name is Funkenschlag.
Yeah, I know Power Grid.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how well known it is over there. So I wanted to point it out, and just to emphasize that I'm really fond of this game. It's like I don't only have the base game. I also have I have the what is this? No, this is the France-Italy expansion. I have the Central Europe Benelux expansion, and I even got the politically definitely not charged China and Korea expansion.
Do they not have a Japan expansion?
I believe that after that they actually had an Japan expansion. But
also, keep in mind, what are you talking about? Board games are fun. You are disappointing.
Yeah, chat's throwing shade on your choice.
Oh, that's Enigma.
Show them the cursed food. They deserve it.
Okay, Enigma.
That's the only one looking at this.
That's 100% on you, Enigma. This is your fault.
No, it's sous vide. If sous vide was completely awful and not in a bag.
How dare you? How dare you?
Wouldn't like. Here's the thing: wouldn't Mountain Dew, the acidity of Mountain Dew, make the beef start to rot? Because isn't that what acid like? But anyway, Max, talk about Power Grid.
Exactly. So, to give, without explaining the rules, because then we are definitely here too long, a little bit of a background maybe. So this, and why I don't have kind of plays into why I don't have the Japanese expansion. I really loved this game shortly after it came out, and every new expansion basically came out a year after a year, and not even every year. So me having
this has been around since the mid 2000s, right? Because it's around like 2004.
Could be. I don't know the original. It could look since I have the box here. Maybe it has a date somewhere on there. 2004. Yeah, copyright 2004, made in Germany.
I am great at guessing.
I guess so. Yeah. But yeah. I got these expansions year after year, and I kept going back there. So for many years, I kept playing it. It was one of my favorite games back in the day. At some point, I was just so burned out that I was like, "Oh, a new map. You know what? We have played this game for literal years now. I don't feel it anymore. I don't need a new map." So. But nevertheless, after probably a decade or so of having a break from it, I came back to it. I still love it, appreciate it. Short story, what do? You are basically an energy provider. Depending on which country you're playing in, and everybody is one, and you try to be the first one to have the most cities connected and supplied with electricity. And it's a game which is it has like multiple phases. In the beginning there's a little bit of an auction phase for the actual power plants, then you have a resources buying phase, and then you have a connecting cities phase, and you often buy one resource too many, and then you are lacking the one electro, which is the name of the currency, which is stupid, but board games keep doing that. You have this one electro too little to connect one more city because the other player snapped a cheaper one away from you, and you are like, why did I buy the oil just to make it more expensive for the next person? Because certain players keep hoarding oil because they are American.
It's capitalism.
Wow. Yes.
Capitalism is not just an American problem. It is a NATO problem where there are multiple hoarders there. Don't just blame us. We're part of the problem, but we're not the problem as a fucking whole.
But no.
We're certainly trying to be.
But
we're not.
But you sure were, and you also came in third place. Nevertheless.
It's not about winning. It's making winning harder for others.
No, but it's also what I want to point out about this game, because it's definitely a strategy heavy game. It's still one that manages to be accessible by basically being on all corners throughout the game. The one completely realistic, just like in real life. The one who is in the lead actually gets a lot of stones thrown in their way, and the further you are behind in the ranking at any point in the game, you actually get more bonuses. You can buy the resources cheaper. You may go into cities first. All the good stuff. So, which actually made it that we ended all three super close with each other at the end of the game on Friday. Because, yeah, it's a game that keeps the balance, that has so many mechanisms built in that you have the benefit if you have a new player who really doesn't know how to best play it. They don't get completely left behind, which is for a strategy game, sadly...
There's not an intense barrier of entry.
Yes, exactly. I mean, once you made it through the rules. If you, for example, take...
It's not like Risk, where it takes so much time to actually get to it.
No, Risk is also relatively easy because it's mostly luck with throwing dice. No, Puerto Rico, that is a game where you explain the rules for half an hour... And then you only understand truly the game after the third time playing it. And then you are like, oh! And there's like, if you don't know the game, this game is punishing. In this game, if you fuck up, you fuck up. And Funkenschlaf, once again, is a lot more forgiving and therefore a great game. And I'm loving it. And you probably need to find the right crew of people to play it. This is probably the only who should play it red flag or disclaimer that I would throw out there. You probably need at least one person who is willing to dive down into the rules and to kind of lead the game. Somebody who is fair and doesn't use his superior or their superior knowledge to fuck the other players over.
It wouldn't be great to have 3 blind mice in the game, for example.
Like
3 people who have never played.
Yeah, if at least one person should really dive into the manual and get through the gist of it. Where's the digital version? There actually was a digital version on a German board game page. Due to licensing, it's off and on. And there's something that I actually have to say with most board games. It's like the feel, the haptic to have it in front of you and playing on the desk, which makes it really great. Funkenschlag, sadly, in the late game has a lot of math involved, which is maybe a red flag I should, for fairness reasons, say. And therefore, in the later game, if you play it digitally and you can just click where you want to go, it automatically does all the calculations. You can even preview how expensive which move would be, which makes it so much easier. Because that was the thing when I played it with my friends back in the day. We kept teasing each other in the end game like, huh? Are you there? Do you want to have a calculator? Do you want to have the calculator? Here's the calculator. I can do this in my head. I can do this in my head. We all said...
What a fucking German thing to make fun of people if they can't do mental math. Jesus fucking Christ.
At the end of the game, we always sat there with 4 or 5 calculators. We usually didn't have enough calculators at hand because we were all in college. You don't necessarily need them anymore. So there was like, okay, shit. Come on, give me the calculator. I want to pre-plan my move. Come on, free up the calculator, dude. Good times. But since nowadays everybody has a calculator in their pocket.
There we go.
Yeah. Just play it on tabletop sim, and then you can flip the table without any punishment later.
Nice. But it doesn't have the calculation aid. But yeah, Power Grid, I personally recommend it highly. Go to your local game store who lets you practice play games, bring a bunch of nerds who are also into more strategy-heavy games, and have a great time. And with that...
Yeah. Right.
Get vaccinated. So
get vaccinated. Get vaccinated. Eat your vegetables.
In that order.
Brush both ways before crossing the street.
Stay away from gacha games.
Stay away from gacha games.
Don't subscribe to
Wooden Strangers.
Tip the artists you commission because we have to pay taxes too.
Don't subscribe to Logan Paul.
Buy my merch.
Oh yeah. Shit! Yeah, you had merch this week. Why didn't you show off your merch?
Yeah, because When I do that, when talking about my week, I feel like I'm being conceited.
I talked about my fucking Honey Pop stream in my week, so you are fine whatever you promote. You promote actual stuff, so let's just put it on for people to look at and be happy about while we do the first questions.
Fine.
So good.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I just get a little bit nervous, that's all. But yeah, so if anyone's been following the Friendlock Season 2, I decided I was going to... Everyone's drawn their own interpretation of Coach Kaz, which is the Luxray that I played. And so I decided to design my own, and for like a week, I will be having Coach Kaz merch. And the thing I actually bought myself, because on Teespring you can buy a sample order. I bought myself a tank top for it so I could work out while wearing Coach Kaz, because I think this is such a great tank top outfit, like tank top design, or a mug, which is also available, because I would love to drink coffee with something that's saying that I'm a champion. But yeah, so I worked on this week. Max gave me advice to brighten it up, and I did. And Lauren was bitching at me about centering things, which I only partially listened to. And yeah,
exactly.
I think it turned out
listen to the idiot who has no idea about art and ignore the actual professional artist.
You were right. You were right with lightening up the shadows, simply because I am an illustrator. I don't do a lot of merch stuff right now, and the merch stuff I do usually doesn't have shading at all because I'm designing like pins and shit. So the thing was, I had my brain in Illustrator mode, which is like really dramatic shadows and stuff. That doesn't pop up well on fabric, so it was actually a good bit of advice. You phrased it really badly, but it was good advice.
How do you phrase it?
Come on.
I'm also not a great diplomat.
He phrased it by accidentally insulting a gift art I spent weeks making for him.
Talking about. Wait, where is it? There. Talking about.
Yeah, so we had to bring this up because the original illustration had him backlit by like the lust token and honey pop, which is great for an illustration, not for a YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah, but in the original drawing, also the colors popped a lot more before you then went like dramatic lighting filters.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. Dramatic lighting is supposed to be dramatic lighting.
It is very dramatic.
And let me just say, the illustration looks great with the lust token. But no, it was the thing is that later when I told him, hey, this is what it sounded like, he was like, that was not what I meant. That is not what I meant at all. And it's like, oh. Yeah. I'm uncomfortable with the energy we've created in the studio today.
There it is.
As long as we're getting it out there.
That's in all its glory.
I love that drawing. I think I did a great job on that.
Yeah.
If I could be egocentric, I did a good job on that. But there's some
people are allowed to do good jobs on things.
I know, right? But there are times where the lighting is the important part, so the base colors aren't, and then there's times where the blah, 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 blah. Point is, I made merch of my Coach Kaz character, and I'll have it available. What are you leaning into?
Didn't you even, with lots of work, didn't you even draw something on the pocket? Like you spent days.
Yeah, but then I got rid of it.
I was about to say, because but you got rid of it. Okay, this explains.
I got rid of it because I was I made like a joke to you that I was going to draw the details on your robe, and you were like, you do not have to. And I was like, oh, wait, I don't. And then I didn't. But that's because when I draw things for like my close people, I'm so like detail oriented, and then they're like, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. But yeah, lightning.
I made this, and I did a good job, and you should buy it. And
link down below.
And I weirdly think it also kind of looks like me, which should make sense. I am this character. I do not have the abs of this character.
Yet.
Yeah, I will. Yet.
Working on it live on Twitch.
Yeah, but lightning round. Do you have any questions on Twitter?
I do have questions on Twitter.
Time is moving slower and faster.
Exactly. So, starting with the one from Enigma before I lose it because it doesn't have the hashtag. Fall 3. since you have all dipped into the furry side in a manner of speaking, what we? No. I have no. I don't know. I mean like.
Don't lie. This ain't reality TV.
Wait.
But yeah.
Oh shit! Now I gotta pick these up.
Oh.
The bit wasn't worth it. The bit wasn't worth it. It fell behind my. No.
I think this is commitment to the bit.
Yeah. But yeah, what was the end of this question?
Exactly. What from that has surprised you or even caught you off guard, and what made you genuinely amused or pleased about it? So basically, strong impressions in either directions.
Okay. I'm gonna just say mine first.
Question also goes out to the chat. Or we have to put on ugly pictures again. Chat, tell us what your furry experiences are.
I have a very wide variety of cursed food. But okay, the first strong impression is actually off-putting, and this is not against anyone. I got really weirded out by how very cuddly fursuiters are.
Oh yeah.
At the first Eurofurence I went to, now context. I don't like being touched unless you know me. Like I even flinch sometimes if like Brett or Max or Lauren get near me. I just instinctively flinch. I have that. So when a fursuiter comes up from behind and hugs, I'm just like, you're lucky I don't punch on the first instinct kind of thing. I got used to it by the end of Eurofurence, and I was fine with it the second year. But I'm just kind of, I think I remember telling Max, man, they are really, they know each other, don't they? No.
That's just at a con. They really like.
Yeah. So but yeah, the other thing that really surprised me is that, which also goes into it, furries are relatively sociable when you put them into the right setting, because at the conventions, people were just so fucking nice. Like when I wore like a Judy cosplay and stuff, everyone was just like, "Oh my god," like all this stuff. Other conventions I go to, no one walks up to you as much as I think I've had at furry conventions. Like literally, this print that I have, the artist signed the back of it saying "For Squirrel Girl" because I was wearing a Squirrel Girl costume when I bought it, and they were so happy. Like I don't think I felt as genuinely happy as I have at Eurofurence. Like that is my happy con. I can't wait for it to come back next year. But like fingers crossed. But it's just kind of like I think that's just the thing. Both for better or for worse, the sociability of furries is what's the most surprising to me. So that's
fair enough.
What about you, Birch?
Well, I mean, I don't have anything like super insightful to say here. I'll just say that like I used to do live caricatures, which is for some people a very rewarding experience, but also can be very frustrating. For me, it was mostly frustrating. I didn't do it a lot at like theme parks or anything where you expect it. I was in other settings. It was mostly settings where people don't want a caricature. They think they want one, but that's because they don't know what it means. They want you to do a cuter version of what they think they look like. And that's absolutely not what caricature means.
Nope.
It means something completely different. And I had no interest in I could just give you a.
I was about to bring it back, né? Caricature.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, why don't I just give you this photo of Jessica Simpson? Like, I never understood what exactly it was they wanted, and so I was destined to be frustrated at that. Anyway, basically, I was peddling something that did not have a market where I was peddling it. So my other live drawing experience was at FurCons, and it's just people actually want what they're asking for, and they want it real bad, and they value it very highly. And they like what you do if you do it at all right, and it's like a completely different experience, and I love it. I love it. And I still get nervous doing the live drawing because I mean, most of what I do in on my own or in the studio is like I'm a real bad perfectionist, and I go over it again and again and again. You can't do that live drawing. So I have a lot of nerves around it, but it's never been pushed because everybody has always just been like, thank you for giving me the best thing I've ever seen. Here's whatever amount of money you asked for. And they leave and say nice things about you later. And it's like, what's happening? So
yeah, they're so fucking nice.
Yeah, it's just been, I think from the outside, it can look like desperation, like, oh, these people are so into it because, like, it's so weird what they're asking for and nobody will provide it for them. But from my end of it, I've seen nothing but genuine enthusiasm for totally harmless fun. And, like, that is, the icing on life. That's, like, what we're all looking for, no matter what else we have to do to keep living. Like, isn't that what we want in the spare time? Isn't that what keeps driving us past all the hard shit? Is just harmless fun. And
Exactly.
That's been most of my experience with the furry fandom. I know there are creeps, but for me, they've mostly been on the fringes. They don't interact with me. I guess they know that I'm not fucking interested, and I just will reiterate that here. Not interested in the creeps. So, but no Nazi furs, fuck off. But
I mean, yeah. No full con, none of that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, that's not my experience. My experience is just cool people. So I get to remain pretty chill guy. Those are the vibes that people know me for, apparently. So
exactly.
Hopefully, I'm not inviting anything else.
Everybody says thank you to Enigma because I already have the next cursed image lined up. But he saved you all by posting in the chat. We really need to try this new threat thing and see if it works. Anyways,
I don't know if this is cursed, but I just find it fascinating. Why? This wouldn't.
Unfortunately, I see all of these. It's not great.
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, Birch.
The cruel fate of the guest. They have to see everything. I mean, this one, since you mentioned it's interesting and it's fitting about my point about furries, which is also interesting, I will still share it because it's not cursed, so everybody stay cool.
I'm just confused because once you put it up, like, because I think this is a very American thing. Here's the thing with SpaghettiOs. It's pasta, and so it's just like, there's no way you're actually slurping up the pasta with a straw, so you're just drinking the shitty tomato sauce.
Oh yeah, the active charcoal foods. That was a thing we checked out once. Anyways, lightning round, and I'm still owning it.
What is your surprising thing?
Okay, my surprising thing, and please don't get it the wrong way. I don't mean this as criticism, but actually as something that I'm fascinated by, is the gayness of the furry fandom. At least.
Oh, it's very gay.
It is at
Ooh,
least
the straight people are gay. Let's be real here.
No, but here's the thing. As somebody who is an absolute furry trash through and through, but coming to local get-togethers, coming to cons, and at least the visible part of it. I mean, maybe there's a silent, straight subculture in the furry fandom, but no, for me it was like unforgettable. With my local furry gang, we once had a New Year's dinner, like almost a dozen people, everybody getting together, having raclette and everything, and I was a token straight guy. I got made fun of for being straight. I was the marginalized group, and it was a fascinating experience. I mean, it was all in good humor, so it's obviously not as negative, but it's like fascinating. And where the thing is, why I'm so surprised by this phenomenon. What makes love for anthropomorphic stuff so appealing to LGBTQ people? That where is the connection? I think it's.
I mean, I guess the only assumption, obviously, I'm saying assumption, is the fact that if you made a Venn diagram of furry and LGBTQ plus, is the want of community. So I guess the thing of finding community is something that they both share. Because there's also other minority-based things that go into the furry fandom.
But community, there are so many communities. But the furry community has a very low price of entry. But it's one about liking shit. It's about liking anthropomorphic stuff. So if you're LGBTQ and you want community, do you then force yourself to like furry stuff? It doesn't make sense. Is it just a phenomenon?
No, I think it's just a thing that one thing just kind of leads to another. I mean, here's the thing: is that there's so many. Like, we make the joke that every woman is attractive to Kovu or Robin Hood. But let's also be real here.
Kovu is pretty sexy. I say this as a straight man.
A lot of characters that you say as furry awakenings, you realize more and more how many of them are male. So that there is a thing that maybe someone's awakening towards something could have been a fictional character, and it could have been a furry. There is quite a few people in the generation that is stimulated by media where they started to realize their type by the fictional characters they attach themselves to. It only becomes natural that some of them would be furry.
I think there's really something to that. And I also think that, and this, I'm not saying this as a scientist or anything. I just think on the whole, probably the world is a lot more queer than it thinks that it is. And we're kind of in the process of learning a lot more about that now. But when you become a furry, you have to make peace with that being your identity in the face of society thinking it's acceptable or unacceptable.
We're in a retrograde now of accepting the gayness of the world, because when you go back into post-Christianity times, and this is not me bashing Christianity, this is just me saying from a sociological, that's what I'm saying, from a sociological perspective. That's what I'm saying, is that there was a lot of, in the Grecian pagan times, queerness was a lot more accepted.
Yes.
And it's historically documented, and then we had it kind of paved over with cement, and now the cement is cracking.
But to be a furry, you have to be okay with saying I'm a furry, and you have to go through this process of identifying yourself that way. And I think there's something very similar to the queer experience about that. And so it's like, if you've done one or the other, you're kind of ready to do the other one. And if you're going to do both. And then some people don't get the doorway into that experience, even if it's ready to be opened,
And I mean, as you guys pointed out, that there is a very deeply rooted gayness in humanity as a whole. Actually, there's also a very deeply rooted furriness. I mean, as Uncle Kage, the head of Anthrocon, likes to point out in his story hours, the furry fandom is documentedly basically the oldest one on the world. Just look at those Egyptian hero things that they cut into the walls with their gods, who have Anubis with the shackle head and everything. This is basically furry imagery.
What's to say that the caveman drawings discovered where they keep drawing buffalo and shit? What's to say that they were drawing it just for documentation reasons? What's to say that they weren't looking at that and be like, unga bunga, that kind of neat.
Yeah. But they could have been building fursuits out of it.
But Enigma, thanks for a good question that kicked off some nice discussion there. And I guess the next time we have Nuka on the show, we need to ask him if he has any insights into that he can add to the question of.
Oh my god. Okay. We need to do a lightning round. Denim's question is a great question, but I feel like it would lead to stories, so I don't feel like next week, I promise you, I'm not ignoring you, I swear.
Now I want to see the question.
The question is talking about favorite travel experience that was not geared towards tourism. But the thing is, that usually comes with giving a story into why it was cool.
We have 27 minutes left.
I would like to prepare for the meeting.
That is also fair. We have 27 minutes minus preparation.
Story, so.
Yeah. But, like, so I don't want to just say a place.
It's fair.
I mean, my answer is simple because I would say that it's just food. I like food. The end. But, yeah.
But, okay.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
Post it again next week.
Yeah, please. You know what? I'll pin it. I'm going to pin it so I remember. There we go. Anyways, but you can do it says, what's the weirdest product that was randomly offered to you? So like maybe like a Google embedded ad, or Kel, if you saw it in public, like what was one of the things where you're like, what?
I have the feeling this comes with a picture.
It does. He got offered a katana.
As one does.
Which to me is not the weirdest. But here's the thing, as someone who has walked the streets of Vegas and Southern California, a lot of weird things is offered to you.
I remember the Chippendales offering you their services.
I was so uncomfortable.
Yep, Brett and I could tell.
They grabbed me. Literally, okay, just to say, like, my actual answer is I got offered a pic. A lot of people apparently have gotten this. I've gotten a weird t-shirt offer that is Lola Bunny bent over Bugs Bunny's leg, and
God damn it, that was going to be my answer.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I got offered it too. But okay, here's my other answer. Is just street vendors in general, at least in Las Vegas, because oh my god, the Chippendales, there was just a Chippendales kiosk, I guess, and these two guys are just like walked up to me because girl. And I just was like, okay. And they were like posing me like I was a fucking mannequin. And I'm just so like, I'm very uncomfortable with all of this, but I don't know what to say. Because it's these two really muscular shirtless men, which too muscular to even be my type kind of muscular. It's just like, I don't know what to do. And I'm kind of scared. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Okay, cool. I'm leaving now. Like, I laughed it off, but looking at it in retrospect, I'm like, I don't know if this is okay. But the other thing was that there was also a t-shirt stand right next to the Chippendales, and it had like a t-shirt that I think was like Batman, but it was Boob Man. And Max was looking at it, and he was like disappointed when he found out the design wasn't even that clever. Or something. It was... Vegas is weird, man. I love it.
I was expecting such cleverness from Boob Man.
Yeah, but like it was just yeah, so I'm going to make my answer very aggressive Chippendales dancers because that's a great title. But Birchly, tell us the tale of how you saw Lola getting spanked by Bugs Bunny.
Well, it's everywhere, isn't it? We all know the story.
People have gotten it tattooed. I would show the tattoo, but this drawing of Lola Bunny has her badge out, so I don't know.
It does. I was gonna throw it in the chat, but I can't for the exact same reason. Maybe if we rush, we could pixelate it. But again, what's the point?
I'm gonna put it in the chat just so Max can see it and have a reaction.
Okay. I'm looking at it.
But
let me post it.
There's the tattoo. Jesus.
The tattoo is more intriguing to me, but yeah, I had this advertised to me as a shirt.
Yes, and that's, I mean, to me, the weird thing about it is the ubiquity of it.
But
like it's
very not safe. For here, you see bits there and there.
There's so many different people who got this tattoo. So there are so many people that just have this on their body now.
I don't think this is something that is marketed only to like because like the computer knows that you're a furry and it's like, here, have this shirt. I think this gets around.
This person has it on their neck. And why is there Hebrew on top of it? I'm so confused.
It's
on his neck.
Yes.
Oh my god. Well, nothing embarrassing about that. It's totally
for context, chat. This is legit NSFW. Porn. You can see
this is
the
out
parts.
Now, porn.
Yeah.
It's just porn.
Yeah, it's porn, and he has it on his neck right here. I mean, there isn't even a high enough collar to cover it up in day-to-day life.
It goes up to his jawline. Like if you had a beard, it ends right here.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, like the naughty bits would still be like.
Yeah, you can wear a turtleneck and it would not cover up that. It would not cover up Lola's ass.
The ass rises above the collar for sure. And maybe not the vag.
Even if you had a really high one, you would still have Bugs Bunny's eyes and hand, just like, hey there.
Yeah, I mean, which is like, okay, then people see there is a tattoo. But I mean, like, there is a slit visible, and he has it on his neck.
I'm just saying, if this guy walks around in a high-made turtleneck and then he finds a lady or gentleman or them of the evening, and they take it off and you see that on their neck, what would be the reaction? You're just like, can we do it from behind? Because I don't know if I can look at that.
I mean,
the fact that we've all seen the ad for this shirt implies to me that people buy the fucking shirt all the time.
I haven't, weirdly enough. I'm feeling left out. Yeah, I Google, am I not pervy enough? Am I not furry enough? Google, please recommend me the naughty furry shirt with Bugs and Lola.
I just
feel left out.
Yes, is Germany now a safe space? I don't know.
Thinking about it, thinking about it, maybe this is a great flirting trick. Is that you just pull up your shirt to your Lola spanking tattoo and be like, "Hey, baby, you want me to do this to you later?"
I mean, if it works, it's genius. She is pro furry. She she's pro spanking. And she doesn't, and she has a high tolerance level. That's like, yeah.
Just don't do it with someone you just met at the bar, because the gambling is high risk.
But maybe.
I was going to say this is a gamble. And also, it's like, are you sending the message that we are going to do this in suits or cosplay? Or is it just like, let's do like the Looney Tunes do?
Yeah. Oh, but anyways, Max, what is a weird ad you
got? A weird ad I got. This goes beyond the online marketing. This is actually like real life, where the HelloFresh box had some, what was it, I believe, the HelloFresh box always comes with some advertisement stuff. I basically get every week, it's also telling, isn't it? Every week I get a goddamn voucher for some kind of wine store, where I'm like, stop calling me out like that.
My roommate Taylor has a bi-monthly subscription to a wine service. So
yeah, but they're really like trying to push it on me. But where it was like, they sent me they sent me like vouchers for baby stuff, and I'm like,
no.
I'm ordering HelloFresh with 2 dishes. Where does the baby shit come from? Can't
either
two people...
Either you think I'm a single parent that puts way too much effort in my child. You are trying to implicate something in my future I don't want.
Yeah.
Or you think that I'm a baby. like all 3 of these options aren't good.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that was a weird thing. Like, HelloFresh, please don't try pushing. Can't 2 adults just live together without procreation? Thank you.
I love it. It kind of makes me think of the John Mulaney thing, where he's like going to, like, the real estate agent is constantly pushing kids. It's like, this is a great flaming trash can, or maybe a nursery. Like, it's great. But yeah, so that was cool.
But yeah, next.
Wish.com has the weird sex stuff. Let me tell you, I've seen way too many, like, tentacles, things that are just human hands. So many fleshlights. Why?
Okay.
Why are male sex toys so weird looking? Like, I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't judge as a woman because dildos are just living penises, but I need to know why there's so many weird looking fleshlights. I have this question, world. And
it's a fair question. I mean, the male sex drive is supposed to be driven by visual stimulation a lot of the time.
True.
So you would expect some attractive sex toys.
Yeah, but like, there are so many fucking, like, fleshlights that are just mouths, like human mouths with teeth.
Yeah, see, that's a nightmare. That's a fucking nightmare.
Anyways, do we have any more questions on Twitter?
We have J-Rock's Would You Rather. Okay, lightning round.
Go ahead.
J-Rock, would you rather for all three have a pause or a rewind button for in your life?
Question. How far can I rewind before consequence? And am I the same age now if I rewind like 5 years ago?
I mean,
5 years.
Yeah,
That does. I mean, 5 years. That does change the equation.
I dare to say there is no limit to it. So.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is like, if I had a rewind button, I would probably be going back to relive memories, like good times and stuff. Especially now in the era where we're locked in our fucking house, I would love to rewind time and go and enjoy Vegas again or something. But would I just be the age I am now? And also, would there just be past me? Am I just observing past me, or am I still me in the present?
I would. I mean, obviously, this is not clarified. Yeah, obviously, it's not clarified. But I guess it would be that you literally rewind your entire life, and you are now in this past spot. And if you, and I guess also if you change stuff, you might either fix mistakes or create new ones. So it's like full on.
I wouldn't change the damn thing that I did. I would just enjoy the time.
But this is a good use then. Yeah, then I guess you would.
I would like to total recall myself, please. But I guess like. But the thing is, I wouldn't want to pause life because I feel like I would only be pausing myself. So it's just kind of like I feel like I would be lonely. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's you can probably romanticize the pausing just as you did the rewinding. But I guess you say rewinding for reliving nice memories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Birchly, what about you?
I both have their uses for sure. My nature tends toward the pause button. I think I might benefit more from a rewind button because then you would think like, well, you can make more mistakes and then you can go undo them. I assume that's the attraction. But what I tend to do is hit the pause button anyway, and I spend a lot of time by myself. So I feel like I would use the pause button for that time where I just need to be by myself. That's fine. And anytime I unpause, then that's my social time. I have all the energy stored up, and I can go out and do whatever the hell I want, pause again, and restart. And I can think about what I'm going to do until I'm ready to do it. And there's something very appealing about that, especially if I don't have to eat while the pause button is hit. I would like that to be true, or go to the bathroom, and just my body is in stasis as well. That would be nice if we're just adding extra rules onto there.
Oh no, dude! That's why I exactly wouldn't hit the pause button because I would be overthinking so much I would never unpause. Like it's just the kind of thing of like, okay, now I can think about what I'm about to say. What if I do this? What if I do this? And then suddenly the world is in stasis for 2,000 years.
That's the thing. But I'm assuming that by the time I get sick of it, I could just unpause. So, like, if it never breaks, I mean, if it breaks, then we have a Twilight Zone situation that is a real problem. Uh-oh. But I assume we could go either way with that.
There has been a Simpsons episode about it. Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it.
The Futurama finale was that. So Futurama did it. Yeah. Futurama did it.
Yeah, it's a little bit like an inversion of Click as well. But that's what I would say for me, just because it's kind of how I operate anyway, and why improve myself when I can just be more of the same?
Okay, so I pick rewind. Birch picked pause. So what are you?
I would go for pause as well. I mean, I like the idea of going back to relive memories, but I'm also nowadays I'm more like I'm in a good place. I'm enjoying shit, but often enough you have the feeling that stuff is moving too fast. And just having the option to take a break from shit, so maybe even to cheat and get more done if you can still do stuff while being paused. I mean, why is my drawing
nothing to me? My computer would be paused.
Yeah, but why is my drawing not going anywhere? Because there's just not so much time, and then after work, I need something relaxing, so I game for a bit, and there's so many shows to watch. So I would hope. I'm not sure how the pausing would work, if I still can do, or if it's really just a breather to get to calm down, chill, think things through, and then continue doing the things. But
no,
yeah,
it's just like it's a Family Guy joke that references something else, but it's like the last brain cell, and he's like, finally I can read, and then he falls and breaks his glasses so he can't read, and he's like, no, there was finally time. You pause time, you're ready to draw, but the computer doesn't work because it's paused in the previous time. But no, there was finally time.
But yeah, we have all answered. Time for the FNK, I'm afraid, so that we still can make it.
Yes, so now we have the FMK from Berserking Gherkin, who asked, all right, class, what's your favorite subject? Art, music, social studies? I've even heard of mathematics, but no one has said science. So for that, we're going to have fun and experiment with what I declare to be fuck, marry, kill sci-fi scientists. Ooh. Okay, so the three choices are Doc Ock, specifically the female version from Into the Spider-Verse.
Ooh, now we're talking.
That's good. The Mahler twins from Invincible, so the blue guys, and Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty.
Wait, you give us one lady and two guys.
Yeah, they also specify the Rick and Morty. It's our Rick, so it's not it has to be the asshole version. You can't pick dumb Rick.
Technically, three guys.
The C132 version.
This is just we're getting just the Spider-Verse version, which is the girl.
So we also cannot pick the scientist formerly known as Rick.
Yes. So sadly, I also realized that last week you went last, so now I have to go last for this one. So I'm gonna get there.
But the guest always goes first.
Birch, you go first. So fuck, marry, kill. Female Doc Ock, the Mahler twins, or Rick Sanchez. I know you have a beautiful buffet of people.
Mahler twins, I'm gonna kill them because not only are they bad guys, they're mean and they're bad and don't do it, and they're also kind of the most boring part of that show for me. So just gonna knock them off the timeline. Fair. There has got to be nobody you would have more interesting sex with than Rick Sanchez.
That is a fair point.
That is a creative, very, very genius, very, very bored man. And he is going to have...
The guy fucked a hive mind, so...
Yes. He fucked a planet. That is... he is into the weirdest, most godlike shit that any human being can be into. So you gotta fuck him. And then guess what? You get to marry Doc Ock because she is, number one, Catherine Hahn. Number two, fucking awesome. Happy Spider-Man Day, by the way, everybody.
Ooh,
Spider-Verse rules.
Nice.
And Doc Ock is amazing. And when you were watching that movie for the first time, and she said she was Doc Ock, and you were like, oh my fucking God, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. We all remember that, right? It was great. And I love it. And I'm going to watch it again today.
Awesome. All right, so those were great answers. So now it's your turn, Max. I mean, I already know probably who your fucking answer is going to be.
I mean,
straight male, one woman.
Exactly. And if I turn it the other way around, it would be the Mahler twins. So no, you're a lucky Key. You don't have to go horny with any ladies.
Really glad I got to go first.
Compared to. I mean, given the fact that I know what I have to fuck now, I have a feeling maybe I would have gone gay for Doc Ock.
Yeah, but no can do. Sorry, I am going to fuck Doc Ock because if I have to fuck one version of Doc Ock, I would definitely go for that one. That one is great. She is great. I mean, first when you see her on this in the school class on the screen, it's like hippie, not really my thing. But then she takes off the hippie shit and is like in her tight bodysuit and everything. It's like
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, can do. She just turned sexy. So definitely fucking her. Oh my god. I apparently like a challenge because I am also apparently committed to killing Rick Sanchez. Good luck with that.
Well, one dimensions version of Rick Sanchez.
but the OG, the Rickiest of the Ricks, so that will be tricky. But then again, he kind of had the death wish, so maybe I might do him a favor. I mean, rubba-dubba-dub-dub. So
very true.
Yeah, very true. And so that leaves me with a wholesome and fulfilled marriage with the twins, where it's like.
Bigamy.
I mean, then again, look, they already bicker like a married couple about who is the real one and who is the clone. They are strong, buff guys. They can protect. I'm a skinny guy who likes to get in trouble online. So having two big buff guys who are married to me and look out for me, probably not the worst. And yeah, and life will not be boring. Having two supervillains as your husbands, shit is going down. I just hope I survive it. But yeah,
you can use your knowledge of who is the clone as leverage in the relationship. It's like,
I'm not sure if they would take this well. So Keyframe, FMK.
All right, so I'm gonna kill Daka because apparently I hate people. I hate society.
How could you?
I look.
Talking about curses, chat is too quiet.
Oh, I mean, you have you can. There we go. Have some Nutella deviled eggs, chat. You did this.
You killed my wife.
I hate this picture. But okay, here's the thing. If we're going with Spider-Verse, that means that Miles Morales lives in this universe and everything, right? I think Miles is basically my son. I love Miles. I would never let anything hurt Miles, and Doc would try to hurt Miles.
Don't tell this to Rick, John. Don't tell this to your husband, Rick.
Now here's the thing. We know that Rick will probably leave me.
Yeah.
So, you know what? He can. We get married so he can keep his green card or whatever, I don't know, and then he can go out and fly in space, and maybe occasionally he'll bring me back a moon rock or something. I don't have a lot of standards.
But okay, yeah.
Painful for you.
But I guess this explains why you are not satisfied with only one answer for fucking.
Okay, what the fuck do I say about this one?
They're big.
Wait.
I already just talked about the fact that I did not like getting manhandled by two Chippendales people.
Oh,
this is like that's huge.
You did set that up really well.
Oh no, it is literally
like
that.
On one hand, two, my brand, awesome. On the other hand, look at them, look at them. That's not my brand.
Okay, wait, there they are. Look at those. Those are your. This is Keyframe's bad candy right there.
No,
wow,
no,
look how very interesting they are.
I like lanky assholes. These guys are just murderous buff men. Like I make fun of these people at the gym. Like who are it? I
They're
guess,
kind of science nerds a little bit.
They are, so maybe the nerds help. But like, you know what? I guess maybe I'm really drunk. That's the thing. Maybe I'm really drunk and I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'm here for a good time, not for a logical time.
But then can you imagine the feeling when you wake up the next morning with a headache between those two, looking left seeing blue guy, looking right seeing blue guy?
No, here's the thing. Here, you know what? Here's how I'm gonna spin it that I still win in the end.
Oh, okay.
If I could survive getting double teamed by those two, that means I'm a fucking superhero. That means that I have some kind of weird durability gene that has to be superhuman. And let's just put in this hypothetical situation that I'm gonna say that I'm invincible. Cue the title card and everything.
That's not gonna happen. I don't have the title card ready. So this entire bit you were spinning there is super awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random crap. It's time for awkward guests. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward guests. Artwork and analysis which you do not want to